What is up, everybody? Hello. Welcome. Welcome to my show, Badassmovietime. I have a big episode planned because I'm always watching movies and I have a bunch of shit I want to talk about. But I thought tonight we would just talk about one movie series, and I don't have a lot of nice things to say, which is uncommon for me. Typically, I do this to recommend movies, but this is something that really bothers me. It's something I feel a little fucked with, guys. After what I just watched, I feel a little fucked with. So let's talk about it. We'll get on this screen. Oh no. What is going on with this screen? There it is. Hi everybody, welcome to my show. Well, the cat's out of the bag. We're gonna be talking about Scream 7. Fuck, dude. I'm gonna tell you guys. First of all, there's gonna be spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, I mean, I guess the last 3 Scream movies have been utter garbage to me, and I'm going to express to you why. I realize I am also a 40-year-old man, and these movies are made for me, supposedly, and so, I mean, they're trying to appeal to kids, and I don't understand that as well, although I was a kid at one time, so I kind of understand it. It's getting old is fucking weird. Like, it doesn't matter what I think anymore, really, but it does. I have experience with this stuff, so maybe listen to me. I reviewed Scream 6 2 years ago when it came out. Here. This is what we're going to do. I'm trying to use my mouse and I have my laptop in front of me. I'm going to read my review for Scream 5, which I saw March 10th, 2022. And then we'll hopefully this isn't too loud. I just turned up the audio a little bit. I'm going to read my review for Scream 5, and then I'm going to read my review for Scream 6, and then we're going to talk about Scream 7. As I go into this, what I will say is Scream came out in 1996, so I was 9 or 10 when I saw it for the first time, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. I was a huge fan of Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid. I love the practical effects. I love how scary Freddy Krueger was in the original movie. I was a big fan of that movie. The effects in that movie, I still love that movie. So it was fun to, like, watch Wes Craven kind of dissect and be meta or whatever, which is, for the record, something that's done to death now. Like, in the 90s, things were pretty, like, there was a lot of, like, backtracking and, like, paying homage and shit going on in the 90s. And one thing that Scream did do was pave the way for awful fucking movies like Urban Legend and I Know What You Did Last Summer, all that bullshit that sucks. It kind of had, there was like a moment in the 90s where slasher movies were really, really bad, which was cool because then in the 2000s when I was graduating high school, slasher movies got really crazy, like High Tension and stuff came out when I first got in the military. Anyways, I digress. I like the first Scream. I can admit that. I'm cool with that. It's not the most hardcore horror movie. There's way better horror movies, but I like Scream. Scream is fun. And I think a lot of people my age liked Scream when they were kids. Scream 2 sucked. Scream 3 really sucked. Scream 3 was awful fucking garbage movie. I don't have much to say about either one of those. I could sit here and talk about those movies and explain to you why I don't like them, and I like Scream 2 I really wanted to like, right? There's the people talking about the movies, and like, I'm a movie guy. That movie is so dumb. Scream 3, whatever. And then Scream 4 came out, and I believe that was Wes Craven's final movie. And I was like, I really liked Scream 4. Scream 1 and Scream 4 are the only movies in this whole series that I can say that I enjoy. Out of 7 movies, that's not the best track record. Do you know how many movies I dislike from Friday the 13th series? 0. Uh-oh, I'm being interrupted. You got the phone, bud?
Yeah. Oh, for a moment I thought there was a game about it.
No.
Oh.
Go finish up what you're doing. You're gonna go to bed pretty soon, okay?
Okay. Anyways, I just bashed my darn knee into the darn printer.
Oh, well, be careful.
Ouch.
Love you.
Love you, Dad.
Okay. So guess how many movies I dislike in Friday the 13th series? 0. Even the ones that I should dislike, like Jason Goes to Hell, there is something redeeming about each one of those movies. Whatever. Scream 4 came out and I was like, cool, man, that was fun. They turned it on its head. They fucked with me a little bit while I was watching it. And then about 8 years later, they did Scream 5. And I went, I don't know if I like this. I feel like Wes Craven kind of wrapped that shit up just fine for me. But here's what I wrote. So March 10th, 2022. They did the reboot thing in Scream 4 already, and it was done better. Scream isn't anything sacred. In fact, it came at a time in horror when the genre was pretty weak. Although I enjoyed the original movie, it started a pretty awful trend of WB star wish they were horror movies. It was still a fun look at horror flicks, and it was made by the dude that made Nightmare on Elm Street, which is basically what I just fucking said. This very obviously wasn't hyped up. It was hyped up nonsense. Yeah, this movie was a big deal when it came out. Everybody was excited about it. If you want to see a good sequel to the original Scream, go watch Craven's swan song, Scream 4. Kind of insulting the shit was dedicated to him. I don't know who made this. I don't know much about them. I know the dude from The Boys was in it, and they got... It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. Scream 5 also had... They killed Dewey, which I guess is a big deal, but I don't know why they'd kill Dewey in such a big movie. I don't know. Like, I liked what him and Gail had going on in 4, and they kind of, like... It just didn't work. It didn't work for me. Which is funny, because one of my biggest complaints... I'll read you my review for Scream 6 a couple years later. Mess with my mouse again. Here, I'll just read this really quick. It's a little bit longer, sorry. Scream 6, April 30th, 2023, so a year later. Before I ramble on, I enjoyed watching this with the family. I really didn't care for the 5th Scream that came out last year, and this one was just about as stupid as that. But yeah, okay, here's what I think. They are focused on franchises this time, which there aren't really any rules by this point. Since the point of Scream is to be self-aware of itself and its position in the series, and to follow the rules of said entry, it kind of loses that concept. This movie had the perfect setup to bring Matthew Lillard back, and they could have played out the cult idea that was floating around involving Stu. This is really fucking important for my review of Scream 7. This is why I'm reading this to you. Lillard expressed interest in the possibility. The movie wanted to have balls. When the movie does try to set some rules, a character explains that once you have a franchise, all characters are fair game. This movie doesn't kill one important character. Not one. The survivors from the previous movie survive. The legacy characters, Kirby and Gale, survive. In fact, other than one character introduced in this movie and some random extras, the killers are the only people killed. I can't think of too many reasons to make any more sequels to the series. But if you have to, why not go crazy with this shit? Even if the Stu idea is too far-fetched, and I put in parentheses, it isn't, why not have a bunch of killers? Have one of the characters even take one out early on. Oh, this is fucking important, guys. I wrote this 3 years ago. Okay. Oh, there's another. Oh shit, there's 20 of them. Have a killer come back from the dead, Lazarus Jason style. Do something other than retread over what Wes Craven already was retreading in the first 4 movies. Have Billy's kid hacking up like an army of ghost faces or something. Shit's weak and played out. I guess it's always been a little weak and silly though. When I think about a good slash flick, I think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre or The Burning, not Scream. So, I'm explaining to you, like, I understand Scream isn't supposed to be these things. It could be, man. It's dead. It's a dead series. It's already been done. Why bother if you're just gonna play it safe and okay. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Scream 7. If you haven't seen this yet, you might want to turn this off because I'm about to talk some shit. This movie had so much potential. Up until like the last half an hour of the fucking movie, I was in it. I was enjoying it. I was really enjoying it. I was so excited. I was like, did somebody fucking read my stupid Facebook review? Like, almost to the T, man. So you have Ghostface show up. Okay, hold on. The movie starts with two people who go into like a escape room type situation where it's a replica of the house from the first Scream, and this dude's like really into the stab movies or whatever, and him and his girlfriend get murdered, and Ghostface lights his girlfriend on fire while she's still alive, which is pretty crazy. He gets stabbed in the head. It was cool. It was a good opening. Then a boy crawls into a girl's room. Turns out Sydney's daughter. Her name's Tatum, after the Rose McGowan from the first movie. It's all working so far. He even says a line that Billy said to her mom in the first movie. There's a little callback there, and the mom is very... I don't trust this motherfucker. I don't like him. I don't trust him. I'm not gonna trust him. You can't make me. They have a little conversation about, why don't you ever talk to me about your childhood, Mom? And it's like, well, by this point we're in a 7th movie with Sid. It's her 6th movie because she opted out of the last one, which is fine. She doesn't need to be in these movies anymore, but she is. She's married to Joe McHale, which I really appreciated. I love Joe McHale from The Soup. Kid's the best line in Ted. Remember that teddy bear movie? It's a great movie. Anyways, he's on the date with what's her name? I forgot her name. The girl from that 70s show. Anyways, he's on the date, and then she walks away, and he farts, and he's like, finally. And it's just like the best way to end a date, in my eyes. What am I talking about? Okay. You got a setup here. You got Sid. You got her daughter. They're fighting. Shit's coming up, right? They've moved away from whatever the town is because it doesn't fucking matter. But they're in a different town that's just like that town, and she's in hiding, kind of. She's kind of out of the spotlight. Her daughter's acting in a play that looked really fucking weird. And all of a sudden, Sydney owns like a coffee house or something, and she gets a call, and it's fucking Matthew Lillard, and he has scars all over his face, and it's Matthew Lillard, and I was like, what the fuck? So a killer comes and kills one of Tatum's friends, kills 2 of her friends or whatever in the play hall, and the dad and Joel McHale and Sid come and save Tatum, and they go to the house, and all this shit's happening. There's a killer in the house. He's hiding in the attic. Anyways, they end up on the street, and all of a sudden, a car fucking hits the killer and kills him. This is the first half an hour of the movie, guys. What did I say in my review? I was like, dude, kill one of the killers and have a bunch more show up. They have this fucking setup. They're in a new town. God only knows what's going on in this town before she moved there. You have the perfect setup for a really cool, memorable movie. And they kill the killer, and Gail gets out of the car, and Gail, and she has the 2 nerdy kids, Randy's niece and nephew from the 5th movie, who are like the only redeeming characters from the 5th movie. They're with her, and they're working with her, Okay. And so you have a group of heroes, and they look like they're hunting ghost faces. I was like, Matthew Lillard's here. Did he start? Are they doing the cult thing? And then you have all of Tatum's friends, and they're all set up, and the twins from the 5th movie. I don't have names, guys. I really don't care that much. But the twins from the 5th movie are like, they're aware because they survived the first situation. They're calling her friends out, and they're like, "You're creepy. Boyfriend's fucking weird. He knows a lot about computers." They're not quite sure if Stu's actually alive or not. Gail and Sydney go on the news, and they're calling out Stu, and they're calling him a little bitch, and you have this setup to where you could have Stu all this time has been working on like a cult, right? Because he was crazy and he liked horror movies, and all these people kind of like horror movies. So like, why wouldn't you have all the friends be in a cult? Fucking make Joel McHale a member of the cult. Fucking make the whole town a town of ghost faces, and have Sydney and her daughter fucking chainsawing them up at the end. Here's the spoilers, and here's how they decided to end this perfect fucking setup for exactly what I was saying they should do. The perfect setup. And I knew that they fucked it up because nobody's talking about this movie at all. I think my daughter went and saw it. I haven't heard anybody talk about this movie. So I knew they fucked something up. And the kills in this movie are great, by the way. Awesome kills. One kid gets his head slammed on a sharp-looking pointy thing on the bar tab thing. You know, the little lever thing, and it goes forward and all this beer's pouring out of his mouth. I loved it. It was so cool. One girl's on a harness. She gets her guts splashed out. It was cool. The dude who gets stabbed in the head. It was cool. At least it was a little, like, more gory, I guess. But so here's how they end this fucking movie. Matthew Lillard is AI. And then a bunch of previous killers show up from the other movies that I didn't even really like all that much. And the killers turn out to be some random creepy lady next door who makes a Pilates joke. And she killed her husband because for some reason she was inspired by Sydney's Escaping Darkness book. And her husband was abusive, so she killed her husband and ended up in the nut house where there's a nurse. And the two of them ended up together as killers. And there's three of them, and the one got killed at the end. So there's only three of them again. And they completely just take this perfect fucking setup and go, nah, Stu's definitely dead. You guys are... They're almost like the people who were saying, like, do the cult idea. You have Matthew Lillard. He wants to do this. And you make him an AI. He shows up on a video a couple times. And you don't follow through with it. You literally, you failed to follow through with it. And so we get a Pilates joke. And yeah, the way they kill her is cool and everything, but she's not a character that matters in this situation. Like, why would you have that setup? Not only did you have the setup, but then you fucking rubbed it in my face that we're not going that route. If you're gonna do that, hey, I'm all for fucking with your audience. Do it, man. Fuck with me. But you have to have a payoff still. Your payoff can't be a Pilates joke. I killed my husband and I did Pilates and I'm crazy. Like, who the fuck cares about this woman? Like, what are you doing? So, was Scream 7 a bad movie? Not really. I'm sure it did fine. I'm sure it made some money. I'm sure kids enjoyed watching it. But for those of us who've been watching this shit for 30 years, like, you couldn't fucking just give us one? Like, the director of this movie? Fuck you. You're a fucking asshole. Whoever came up with this and thought that this was better than the alternative, and they're aware of what the alternative was, because they rub your face in it at the end of the movie. They're like, no, he's dead. That's stupid. Actually, what you did was way stupider. Way more stupid. Stupider word? Doesn't matter. Your movie's stupid. You fucked up. You had all these great actors. They were all doing a good job. You had great effects. It was fun. And then the last 30 minutes? Honestly, like the last 20 minutes, that's where they fucked themselves. The AI, why? You fucking kidding? And you could say, well, like, you know, Scream is going to go with what's going on right now and AI is taking over. No, it's not. It's not taking over movies, dude. If you're using it as a tool, like, don't get fucking preachy with this shit. And AI wasn't even a part of it. It was just what they used to make stew. So it wasn't even, like, part of the movie. So you copped out, man. You even had the guy. Like, you had him. Why wouldn't you just... Why? Biggest disappointment ever. That was a letdown. Anyways, the rest of the movie's cool, so... as I already said, Scream 1 is okay. Scream 4 is pretty cool. Scream 4 had some balls. Wes Craven, I guess, wasn't a little bitch like the people who made these last three movies. Bunch of little bitches. Fucking playing with my emotions. They brought Dewey back with the AI thing too. That was stupid too. Yeah, fuck this movie. Stupid. There's my review for you. I'll be back with some more badass movie time soon. I have a whole list of movies to talk about that weren't complete fucking garbage. I'm out and pissed. Who's the director of this? Hold on. Take the money you got from this and fucking make my movie, you pieces of shit. Who's got some money? I'll make you a Scream. I'm fucking killing everyone. In the movie, not in real life. Give me the rights to Scream. I'll murder everyone in the series. It'll be sick. People will love it. Just let me ruin it. Kevin Williamson? As a child, Williamson was a fond fan of movies, especially those of Steven Spielberg. After high school, Williamson went to college. He was a writer on the original Scream. Is that why he's mad at the idea of bringing Matthew Lillard back? Dude, this guy's got nothing. Let's see. Why the fuck did they let him make this movie? Is he the one that directed the other ones? He's directed 2 movies. Teaching Mrs. Tingle. It's Scream 7. Yeah, you should stick to writing, I guess. And he wrote this. He wrote. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. He did write The Faculty, which is pretty cool. I was gonna say he wrote Scream. He wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scream 2. Fucking horrible. He's got The Faculty. He wrote a bunch of stuff for Dawson's Creek. He did write Scream 4. Scream 4 was good. Fuck you, Kevin Williamson. Fuck Teaching Mrs. Tingle, and fuck you, Kevin Williamson. Oh!